All right. Hey everyone. It is November somehow because time doesn't make sense anymore, which means I'm going to do my first book haul video. So I have beside me all of the books that I added to my TBR in October. Well, not all of them, actually. This is a lie. I've already talked about some of them or done reviews on others. So these are all of the books that I haven't said anything about that I added to my TBR in October. I was going to do an October wrap-up video instead of this, but then I realized that pretty much every book I read in October, I read on my Kindle. I guess it was just that kind of month. So I didn't highly have physical copies of like 2 books. So instead, I'm going to do a book haul video because this is my channel and I make the rules. So anyway, let's get started. This first book I actually didn't buy. I actually stole from my little cousin. I got it from her, or got it for her for Christmas a couple years ago, just because I love the illustrations. I mean, look at this. And also because I was trying to project my love of fantasy onto her. And I don't know if it worked or not. I don't know if she read it or not. It's Wildwood by Colin Meloy. It's illustrated by Carson Ellis. It is a middle grade. I love middle grade fantasy about a young girl whose little brother is stolen by a murder of crows, which sounds awesome. And so her and her friend set off into the woods to go and rescue him. And they realize that the woods is actually a passage to another kingdom, very Narnia-esque. And that this kingdom is fighting against these evil forces. And so they decide that they're gonna stay and help fight and rescue all of these people from these evil beings. I'm really excited. I'm mostly excited because of the illustrations, because I mean, I've shown you a couple, but like they even have these little illustrations on the page, these little, along with like the full page. And the cover is beautiful. I've been wanting this on my shelf for forever. I almost bought myself a copy, but thankfully my mother saved me from having to do that. So yeah, Wildwood. Also, Dobby's here again today. He's decided he's gonna sleep on the couch anytime I do these videos. The next one was another one I also stole from my mother. I love the Night Circus. This is the same author, if you didn't make that connection. So I know, though, that this is just going to rip out my heart. I don't actually know what it's about, because it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you read the publisher's synopsis, which is fine. So I'm kind of going into this one blind, but I know it's going to be amazing because A, I've read a million reviews about it. Also, Erin Morgenstern, is a phenomenal author. So yeah, stole this one as well, the Starless Sea. The next one I did buy, and I'm so excited. This is The Constant Rabbit by Jasper Fforde. Jasper Fforde is an absurdist fiction author. I read his book Early Riser. Actually, I listened to it on audiobook. It's a very good audiobook. Last year, which is a absurdist fiction book about humans who hibernate and the humans that don't hibernate and instead are tasked with like continuing to run the world while everybody else hibernates. It's amazing. It was hilarious. One of my favorite reads of the year last year. And so when I heard he had another novel coming out, I got super excited. And this one sounds even better. It is, and I'll just read you the first couple sentences of the publisher's synopsis. It'll take a rabbit to teach a human humanity. England, 2022. There are 1.2 million human-sized rabbits living in the UK. They wear clothes and can walk, talk, and drive cars. The result of an inexplicable, spontaneous, anthropomorphizing event 55 years earlier. Yeah, it's about giant anthropomorphic rabbits who move into the United Kingdom, and the people are not very happy with that. It seems to be, I'm assuming, a metaphor for racism. I'm gonna just take a wild guess and think that that's maybe what Jasper Fforde is referring to. I haven't read it yet, but I'll report back. But anyway, yeah, sign me up. I'm here for anything Jasper Fforde writes because he's hilarious. And also this cover's really cool. So, The Constant Rabbit by Jasper Fforde. Okay, next one was a little bit of an impulse purchase. I love Guillermo del Toro, and I love Pan's Labyrinth. And Cornelia Funke actually wrote Pan's Labyrinth, which, if you're familiar with Cornelia Funke, she did the Ink Heart series, which was a huge part of my childhood, so like nostalgia central there. But I found this while I was browsing at the bookstore once again. If you can't tell, I have a thing for illustrated pages. Like, there are also all of these really spooky full-page illustrations. But it's just a literary version of Pan's Labyrinth. I ended up getting it for like $10. So, added that. I'm going to try and read this here pretty soon. I know that I just missed, like, Halloween's already over. But like I said in my last video, I hadn't been really feeling horror this month. So, I'm going to try and catch up on some of my horror reads over the next couple months, but this is definitely going to be top of the list because just look how amazing and beautiful it is. Yeah, so Pan's Labyrinth by Cornelia Funke with Guillermo del Toro. The next one, I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with. I have never read anything in the Grishaverse, and on a whim decided I was going to buy myself Six of Crows because the internet's obsessed with it. And I figure I probably will be too. First off, can we admire that the pages are black, or at least the edges of the pages are black? It looks really cool, stacked or on a bookshelf. So I am not going to spend a ton of time on this. If you don't know what Six of Crows is, I recommend reading anything on Goodreads because it'll probably mention it. I also still think that they are making a television show for the Grishaverse, so I'm going to try and get this finished before that happens, but I don't know with COVID if that got delayed or not. So anyway, yes, I bought myself the Six of Crows, which is the first in the duology, which is, I don't really know actually how that relates to the rest of the Grishaverse. Like I said, haven't read anything, but yeah, excited to start this one. And because it was a fantasy month for me, mostly because I did read all of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, well, all of the released books in the series in like a week. I had never read anything by Sarah J. Maas. I, once again, was kind of one of those authors that I was like dragging my feet on. And then my friend Bailey was like, these are my favorite fantasy books ever. So I decided, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And oh my gosh, I loved them. Funny enough, I actually started reading the series at the exact same time as one of my really good friends did. We both did this unknowingly and then went and got a drink, a safe, socially distanced drink outside. And she mentioned that she'd started them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just started those too. So we've been texting. She's quite a bit behind me. She's only on the second book. And we all know, if you've read the second book, you are familiar with the chapter. The steamiest thing I've ever read. And I told her, I didn't spoil it, but I was like, as soon as you will know when you're there, and as soon as you're there, you have to text me and let me know what you think. So, like I said, read all of those at the beginning of the month, had a little bit of a hangover. So I decided I was going to pick up Crescent City, which is Sarah Dumas's most recent release. And hopefully this will tie me over until the next book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. Hopefully that will tie me over until the next book comes out in February, I believe. This has apparently got a pretty steamy romance in. Once again, kind of went into this one blind just because I really enjoyed the other books by Sarah J. Maas, so I was going in on good faith. I don't actually know what it's about, except for it's about some sort of fallen angels and demons and, yeah, unforgettable characters, sizzling romance, and page-turning suspense. Cool. Sign me up. Yeah, thanks so much for watching this quick video. These are all, like I said, my October book haul. I will be doing these probably monthly. I'll still be doing reviews and reading updates throughout. My next reading update will be posted next Monday. I'm really excited about the books that I'll be talking about in that. So anyway, thanks for following along. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram @NotSoWellRead, and I look forward to seeing y'all soon. Bye!